with a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Yes, good morning, of course. Welcome back to Tobago Updates Television. I want to thank you so much for, of course, staying with us and, of course, sharing the live as well. I want to thank Dana Kumbi for holding down the first half hour. And as we jump into sport this morning, just to give you a taste of what's on the program this morning, a sporting morning, Friday, 8th December. Yes, we are in the Christmas season, the festive season. And I want to say this morning we're pleased to have international footballer Kenya Yaya Cordner. We also have Mr. Shawan Bishop, track and field coach. He's going to join us live in studio. And of course, Kenya is all the way out there in China. Of course, she joins us live, and I'm pleased to bring her in now. Let me say good morning to Kenya. Good morning to you, Yaya.
Well, good morning to you, Marcus, but it is night here, so it's good night to me.
Right, so how do you say good night in Chinese?
I can't remember.
You can't. I'll leave it at that. And how are you this morning? How are you this? Well, I'm in Tobago, morning time here, and night time by you. How are you, Kenya?
I'm doing fine, actually. Well, the season actually finished last Saturday, so just relaxing and waiting for time to come home.
Fantastic. I mean, and you talk about the season ending last Saturday. You're just enjoying the scenery there in China still?
Well, for most time I've been in my room because, trust me, China is a different place.
Right.
And
right.
it wasn't what I expected. It's really different.
Right.
But to cope here, you really have to be strong mentally.
Yeah, and let's talk about that difference you talk about in terms of you have played around the world, numerous teams, and I mean this is your first time you have been to China playing with a club in China. I mean, let's tell us about that experience and what makes it different to the other countries that you would have traveled to and played with different clubs as well.
Well, first off, the language barrier, because you know this is Chinese, and you this is a language that's very difficult. If you don't know, it is very difficult. But just it's like, for me personally, when I first got here and I see how they just like stare at me, I was like, okay, maybe it's like they never see black people in their life and they're just amazed by what they see. But after you start getting into the routine and you see how things is going, it's literally not like that. It's basically they like take their phones out, take pictures of you, take videos of you, and when it is that you turn back the phone on them, they don't like it and stuff. And then for the football, like me knowing that I was coming to China, I did not know that this team was at the bottom of the table because I had so much going on with my tournament and the camp, so I wasn't really looking into what situation I was coming into. And it's not until I get here in China with the team that they were like, oh, the team is in 12th place and they're in like relegation zone. And it was a lot of pressure on me coming in here to try to rectify the problem and try to score as much goals as possible to get the team out of relegation zone. But putting pressure on me is not going to help stuff. It's just going to make things worse because you're having other players and you're not telling them to give an effort like you're telling me. You want me to be superhero and try to do everything, and football is not like that. You have to believe in the players that you have also with me there, and that's the only way we could overcome and accomplish something. But it was too much pressure on me. At one point in time, I really wanted to give up. Like I spoke to you and I tell you how it was going and everything. And I just continued to pray and ask God to give me the strength each day because trust me, it has been very challenging for the last 4+ months living in China.
Well, I'm really sorry to hear that you would have been through all that ordeal, and anyway, God is great, and you would have actually achieved the purpose of what they wanted out of you in terms of saving the team from relegation. Were you the only person of color on the team?
No, actually, I was one of three.
Right.
So it was three of us, two Nigerian and myself.
Okay, and I guess those were your closest buddies on the team.
Pretty much, yeah.
And let's go through this season there. Yeah. On set now we are
Hmm.
seeing a goal scored by I think one of the person of color. Um, Tell me about that game that you would have scored. I mean, how many goals you would have scored, and where's the team now in terms of which zone or which division were they, and where are they now going to be placed with saving qualification, saving relegation.
Okay, so when I came, the team was actually in 12th place with 6 points. And after that, we played like, because as soon as I landed in China, the Saturday was my first game. So I came here on, let me see, and it was probably Monday or Tuesday, and I had us to play on Saturday. And basically, we didn't win. That first game that I played was a 6-0 loss. And with the turnaround now, we played this. This is the team that we played last Saturday, and we won 1-0 to save the team from relegation. So we jumped from 12th to 10th.
Right.
So when you in 10th position, you automatically safe for the next season in the top league.
Yeah, I'm seeing you also.
The
You have on a headband there. Were you
No, that
injured
wasn't a headband.
during the game?
I went up to head a ball, and uh, two of us clashed, and my head was bleeding.
Right.
So they had us to make it stop bleed somehow, and they wanted me to stop the game. I was like, no, I will continue to play. And right after that, when I went back, that is when I scored the goal.
So you're feeling better now.
So feeling much better. Well, I get hit here and there and everywhere, but I had was to do
Yeah.
what the monster had to do, because
Yeah.
sometimes when you have been pressured so much to do and do, and the pressure is so much that it almost break you, and God show up at the right timing to make sure that you allow these people to be quiet, because if it wasn't for me, we would have still have to play a game on the 11th to stay in the league, because
Yeah.
if we had finished 11th, we had was to play a playoff.
Right. So is that?
So
I mean, you have mentioned so many challenges in China there, but you have adopted the alias monster mentality. Is that testament to your character as a footballer? Is it that you developed that name for yourself, or someone gave you that tagline, monster mentality?
actually, someone gave me monster, but I after Kobe died, and his slogan is Mamba mentality. So I was like, maybe I could change mine to monster mentality. So that is how the monster mentality came out. But the monster came from me playing in Indiana one time, and Janelle James actually was like, we cannot call you Yaya Monster anymore. Oh, Yaya. We have to call you Yaya Monster, because the stuff that you are doing out on the field is
Yeah.
very monstrous. So you have to be called Yaya Monster. So that is where Monster came in.
So what's next for Kenya Yaya Cordner? What's next for you? You are now you celebrated your 35th birthday last month. Unfortunately, not in the best month of the year, October, but we're gonna take that. I mean, what's next for Yaya? What's next for you?
Well, as one door closed, a million open. So just waiting on my agent to see which one is, because it have a lot of opportunities to me. I just need to decide where I need to go, and it's like right after China, I have to jump back into football again. So I have to decide if I want to go right away, or I need to take a break, because this
Right.
old body need a little bit of rest. It's 35, so the old body need to rest a little bit.
Yeah, but definitely not returning to China.
China is not bad. Just
Yeah.
the situation that I've been put in with this team, it was a bit overbearing. It was
Yeah.
too much for one person to handle. But in the end, I overcome and I shut them up. So
Yeah, and yeah.
pretty
What would
much.
you want to tell other young aspiring female footballers? Because we had a situation where we had two recently selected to the national team, Talia Martin and Angelisha Alexander, and I mean, I think many would put you down as a person that would have paved the way for a number of other young female footballers from Tobago. What would you want to tell those youngsters that would have gone on to play for the national team and others who are aspiring to be just as you?
I will say to them that if football is something that you really love and you're really passionate about it, is to go after it, because there's a lot of opportunities out there. Because while I was 13, I made the national team when I was 15, and so can anyone who is willing to go out and put in the work for it, because sky has no limit, and if you're willing to put in the work and go after what you believe in, nobody can tell you that you're not good enough.
Okay.
You are the only person that can tell you that you're not good enough. And once you know that you are good enough to accomplish any and everything in this life that you set out for, you go after it, despite all the critics. Because if you listen to the critics, you will not go nowhere in life. And I'm a living testimony of that, because I did not listen to the critics, and I played football all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, despite the challenges out there, we are very proud of you. When I say we, Tobago, Trinidad, very, very proud of your accomplishment. You would have saved the team from relegation. And of course, we want to wish you, should I say Merry Christmas out in China, or are you going to be back home in time for Christmas?
I'm ready to come home. No,
so,
I've missed Christmas for the past 5 years. I need to spend Christmas home this time
Fantastic. I mean, we're going to pick up this conversation when you get here. I want to wish you a safe journey back to Tobago, and of course, take care of yourself out there in China. Thank you so much for chatting with us this morning. Yes, we have been speaking there with Kenya Yaya Cordner, international footballer. I mean, you see what the footballers, and not just footballers, but sportsmen, international sportsmen, they have to go through, just to represent themselves, their country, and to earn a living. And I really want to tip my hat to Yaya, and to survive, changing culture, different culture, and still come through on the better end of things. I commend her on that, and I wish her a safe journey home. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to return with Mr. Sowen Bishop, and he's talking about the Mercury Ignition, the start of the track and field season, Trinidad and Tobago. Don't forget to share the live. We return right after the break.